What's going on, YouTube? It has been a very long time since I've made a video, and there's a number of reasons for that. First and foremost, 2020 was a crazy year, and the pandemic hit. I was bartender, and I had to deal with shutdowns, multiple shutdowns back and forth, and the gym's closing down. And as a lot of you know, lifting has always kind of been like a rock of mine, a stabilizing force. And I was training for a powerlifting meet, and my meet was that Saturday, and everything shut down like that Wednesday, I believe. So I had to do a mock meet at the gym. But then training was kind of sporadic. I was doing a lot of like home workouts, but it's not the same. And that ended up kind of taking a mental toll on me. And an opportunity arose where I actually had the opportunity to get out of bartending and move into carpentry, and so I took that opportunity. I'll go into some of that stuff a little more later, but what I wanted to start with was saying that I'm sorry, because I get a lot of comments and messages from people saying that they wish I would create more, that I would put more content out there. And I know I've said it so many times in the past that I don't want to just create content to create content. And I think I touched on one of my last videos was sometimes I feel like I don't know if I'm the right person to even be, talking about this stuff anymore, because I don't feel those like pangs from, desiring to drink or anything. I'm still very much sober. It'll be 5 years, April 2nd. And I'm super stoked on that. And I was sober throughout the whole pandemic. It never even occurred to me, or a thought, or an urge, or a desire to drink at all. And it's kind of like, because I'm not actively suffering from that, sometimes I feel like maybe I'm not the right guy to be talking about that, because in a way that I'm not where a lot of people are. But through talking with a lot of my close friends, they are the ones saying that no, that's the exact reason why I should continue making these videos and trying to show people kind of what life can be. And I don't know, I like, all my burners got turned way down in 2020, and I think everyone went through that, so I'm not trying to have a pity party for myself or anything like that. I was recently on a podcast called the Essential Strength Podcast, and I was talking about alcoholism and all these things, and going back and listening to that, I realized that I still spoke about it very eloquently and like it was all there. So my whole thought process behind the idea of being disconnected was inaccurate, was just bullshit, and I don't know why I got so stuck in that. So I apologize to everyone that has kind of waited for me to make more content, or rightfully just stop caring, because I haven't been there talking to you guys, making consistent videos. And through a lot of kind of like self-searching and stuff, I've realized that I do want to create more content, and I do want to be more consistent. And working on getting a Patreon up, and working with some like film editors to have this not be so raw where it's just me filming a video on my phone, which maybe that has kind of been a draw to it. And I don't mean to like get away from this long format discussion that I do really like having, but I think with a little bit of editing, it could be just a little more streamlined and not just so plain, So yeah, I was talking with one of my best friends and the bar manager, and he was like, what would you be doing if you weren't working at Fogbelt? And I was like, well, I'd probably talk to this guy that we know that comes around. He's a local contractor. And I was like, I would just see how I would go about getting in the trades. And, we just talked about that for a little bit. And when I was driving home, it made me think, like, why would I just not see where that path could take me? And I hadn't seen him for a couple months, so I decided next time I see him, I'll talk to him, just see how I could go about getting into it. And as luck would have it, he showed up the next night. And so I spoke with him, and one thing led to another, and a job offer arose out of it. And I wasn't really looking for a job offer necessarily, but here was this opportunity in front of me. And it was very scary because I had been in the serving industry for the last 12 years, and I'd be switching fields, switching, everything in the middle of a pandemic, starting at the bottom of a totem pole with a pay cut. And, I talked to my girlfriend, and she thought it was a good idea. And, what I ended up doing was I was like, okay, so what about, like, I like to run through these worst case scenarios in my mind and then work back from that. And I was like, okay, well, let's just say I say, thanks for the offer, but no. And I started feeling like almost sick, where like I missed an opportunity. I let this opportunity go. And so that was what told me that was the right thing to do and go in that direction. But it was still scary, the idea that I'm going to go into this field where I know almost nothing about. And, there was a lot of uncertainty to it. And had I not been sober, I know I wouldn't have taken that leap. I wouldn't have had this last half a decade of self-fulfilling legacy of putting myself in uncomfortable situations and coming out victorious on that. And even the failures that you do have, you realize, it wasn't the end of the world. It didn't destroy you or break you. And so I made the switch. And it was really emotional because a lot of those people that I come to work with and I really loved, it was hard to walk away from them. But everyone was really supportive, and they all gave me, their backing and their blessing. I wrote everyone like a 3-page letter, each employee. And it, I look back and the thing I miss the most is working with them, but it's nice not to be around alcohol all the time anymore. And, I'm really stoked I did that, and making those kind of leaps makes me be, just more confident in my decision making. And that's kind of where this comes into play, where I want to do these things more. I want to make more videos. I want my presence to be more there, and I want to have more of a conversation and a dialogue with you guys. And I ended up shaving off my beard entirely because I felt like my identity was so wrapped up around that. And so I just chopped it all off. I got this sweet neck tattoo. I'm getting pretty much everything blasted up. My hands, I love tattoos, and life is really short. Talk about that, a lot of that on the channel. But I don't want to have this one be super long. I actually dropped my girlfriend off at a Galentine's, and she's calling me off the hook right now. She probably thinks I fell asleep. But what I want to just, in summary, just let you guys know that I really am sorry that I kind of just ghosted on you guys. There are no excuses, really. I just kind of let the year get the better of me, and my flame turned low, but it didn't extinguish. And so I want to come back. And I have a podcast. I have 6 episodes done. We're hopefully getting it up and running this month. The podcast is called Time Enough at Last. And the title's based off a Twilight Zone episode. Twilight Zone, phenomenal show. It had such a huge effect on me growing up. But the idea is that when sobriety gets, or when alcohol gets left in the past, that you now have all the time you need. The episode was the guy that all he wanted to do was read, and he never had enough time to read, and then he goes underneath the bank in a vault, a bomb goes off, kills everyone. Spoiler alert. And so then he comes up and he has all the time in the world now, and he can read all the books that he wants, and he goes to get one of the books, and his glasses break and they shatter, and then he's has all the time in the world, and he can't read anything. So it's not meant to be such a dark title. It's more just kind of like I thought the name fit. But anyway, you guys, I just want to let you guys know I am back. I will be creating more content. And please let me know if there are specific questions. That's something I want to work on, is addressing specific comments and questions that you guys have. I want to make this more of a back and forth dialogue. I know I'm horrible with commenting back. It's nothing personal. It's just a lot of comments, and I try not to be on my phone endlessly. but I will try to be better at that. And I hope you guys can forgive me, and I hope you guys are still around for the discussion. And I leave it up to you. If I put the videos out there and I try to get this going again and it doesn't happen, then I only have myself to blame. But I appreciate you guys watching either way, and I appreciate everyone that's watched along the way. So I love you guys very much, and I appreciate you. So please share my channel with anyone. Like, share, subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to be getting that Patreon up, and I would like to get some merch going as well. I have some really rad ideas, and I have some really cool people that I want to work with. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will be seeing more of you soon. Thank you.